The average person touches their face 3 to 5 times every waking minute. In between, we're touching doorknobs, water fountains, and each other.
Beth.
Mom?
No, go up to your room, honey.
So we have a virus with no treatment protocol and no vaccine at this time.
You had a seizure this morning, Beth.
Does she have a history of seizures
No.
and allergies?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Film Optics review. Today, we are actually going to be reviewing Contagion, since of the huge, pandemic that's going on out there. People are staying indoors. I got my co-host Devin here with me today. How are you doing today, buddy?
Social distancing.
Social distancing.
That's what we're doing.
Exactly.
Gotta be smart.
Right. Minimum human contact required. Devin and I are both gamers, so we kind of fit the bill there. We're kind of immortal in a way. But yes, today we will be reviewing Contagion. So the last news podcast that we did for Headline Hot Takes, we actually recorded a day early, which was on Wednesday night for our buddy to join in with us. And we normally review it on Thursdays, but there was a lot of news that came out Thursday with a bunch of movies and concerts and events just cancel all across the United States and across the world.
And we're not going to movie theaters. It's just it's one of the dirtiest places I can think of, and I just don't want to be there.
Well, would you like a movie theater floor for how much did you ask me the other day? That text that you sent me?
I said $50K.
$50K. Would you do it? Yes or no?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh my God. I don't know. Well, there is a Corona challenge going on. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I saw a lady, she licked the top of a toilet seat today. And she was like, "Oh, Corona challenge." I'm like, "Okay, this is definitely
that's the downfall of humanity."
Yeah, pretty much. As if we haven't had what crazy challenges in the past, but $50K, man. Ooh, $50K. Like anything can be on the floor. Or does it have to be clean, or just after like a big showing? Like what's going on here?
I have no idea. You have to ask Ken Jack. He's the one that came up with it.
Ken Jack, lights, camera, bar store. We love you. You got some really interesting questions and takes there. But before we begin today's review, you can listen to this review of Contagion on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Anchor, YouTube, Podbean, TuneIn. Still no iHeartRadio. I'm going to keep throwing that out there until they put us on their platform. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Film Optics. Optics is spelled OPTIX. And so I guess we'll just get into it because this movie came out in 2011. I'll read the synopsis here really quick, and then we'll get into. We're just going to talk about the movie since it's been so long. You know what I mean, man? So it's like, I don't feel like we need to go into non-spoilers for this. Like, no. We're just going to dive straight in. Like I said, it came out in 2011. So if you haven't seen it by now, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's actually very relevant currently, so it might be worth a watch.
Yeah, it actually came out on September 9th, 2011. So that's a little interesting. That I actually almost read that as September 11th, 2011. I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, let me read the synopsis here really quick. Healthcare professionals, government officials, and everyday people find themselves in the midst of a worldwide epidemic as the CDC works to find a cure. That
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar. I think there's a virus out there, right, Devin? I don't know. Something about not drinking Corona.
The Modella virus?
The Modella virus? Well, the only Corona I actually have is in my fridge. It's there's always that. But this was directed by Steven Soderbergh and written by Scott Z. Burns, and has a huge casting here. Stacked. This is early. We get Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Matt Damon. Oh my gosh, who else?
Kate Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne.
It's a pretty
Bryan
stacked
Cranston.
Cast. That's right. I'm going through the Mary Joe Farsi,
Marion Cotillard.
Huh. It is it's a great one. Darius Strokis, course, I think. Oh, Daria Strokis, excuse me. I've seen her in a few things before. But anyway, so yeah, this movie clearly is reflecting on what is actually going on in today's world. And it's a movie about, a worldwide epidemic. Nothing spreads like fear. And so we're just going to dive straight in. I wanted to get your thoughts first, Devin, because we both never seen this movie until this weekend. And, we're going through which movies to pick out for the movie review today. So I just want to get your quick thoughts, before we dive into all the juicy stuff.
It really is kind of like eerie how close it is to what we're going through now. Like even the terms, like they mentioned social distancing, they kept mentioning not touching your hands. Like it's just all like the same as what we're going through now. And I love how fast it started too in the movie. It all just kind of happened, and then you're just into the movie.
Yeah, I would really have to agree with you there, man. I know I say that a lot, but when it comes to this movie, the movie first starts off with Gwyneth Paltrow. She's in China. She's on a business trip. The man that she's talking to, presumably, you would think, she's single because they met up the night before, and she gets sick. She comes back home to her loving husband, Matt Damon, and her son. I forgot who he was played by. I think it was like about 6 or 7 years old. And she starts, getting the sweats, starts coughing. She's not feeling very well. And she just like completely seizures out. And she did such a great job, with when it came to, her acting. When they rush her to the hospital and she's foaming at the mouth and she's having these crazy seizures, and she just up and dies. And then the what was it? The waiter who in Hong Kong, I think it was Hong Kong, somewhere in China, actually catches it from her, and then it just spreads. I think it goes between 127 days, I think. I can't really
Yeah, it
remember.
sounds right.
Something like that. But all this stuff is going on. You find out that Gwyneth Paltrow's character, she was cheating on her husband. I was like, oh my god, did she get this from like this other dude that she used to be with? And then she ends up dying, and then Devin, the, the little boy dies like shortly after because he has a cough. And then I'm like, is
The
everyone just
babysitter's just like, yeah, go take a nap and die, basically.
well, like the father takes his, Matt Damon takes his kid to the hospital. I mean, not the hospital, just I'm imagining it's a pediatrician, and like, get plenty of rest. Let's get you some soup, and mom drops dead. Then like as soon as she dies, he doesn't believe it. Like the doctor's like, hey, your wife passed away. And then he's like, yeah, so when can I go see her? He just saw her like not even 10-15 minutes ago, and then she's just gone just like that. And then it just takes him a second to realize like what's going on. And then he comes home, and then it's like, hey, your kid's foaming at the mouth. And then it just spreads from there. I don't know, man, but
Yeah, it was definitely a hot start.
it really was. And that's what I think what really, roped me in. It was that first, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes. It just jumps straight in. And they're rushing around trying to find a cure. Jude Law plays like this super weird like blogger dude who's just
Yeah,
like
I was
kind of
confused as to like what his deal was. It was weird. Just kind of saying weird things on the internet and getting in trouble for it.
I mean, pretty much what every blogger / writer does today, right? I mean, like you said, it's very reflective of what's going on today here. And I believe, oh my gosh, I think it was the oh my gosh, the guy who plays in the Matrix. I'm blanking on his name. The black guy. I'm sorry. I'm like,
Lawrence
it's
Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. He hires the new assistant. I forgot her name. Is it Darius Scope? Uh, Strokis, who plays Irina. I think so. Was that her? No, that was not her. Sorry, I'm like checking through IMDb while going through this because I totally missed her name. Not the nurse, but the lady who Lawrence Fishburne hires to help get this under control. Then she ends up getting the virus and ends up dying. Do you remember? You know who I'm talking about?
Um, Kate
Uh,
Winslet.
right, right, right. Yeah, Kate Winslet. That's right. So I actually really liked her character. I was actually pretty drawn to her character, and then she
I
kind of
I
just
might have missed what happened, but like what happened to her? I might have missed it.
so I think she's overseas, and she just starts getting like the sweats. I think she just randomly catches it. I think what happened was when she got her hotel room, whoever was in that room before might have had the bug themselves,
Yeah, I
and
saw that, but what ended up happening to her? Because I saw she was like in a
yeah, she,
bed, just
right.
not looking too good.
Yeah, she tries to give that one guy who was like way worse off than her 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 jacket, which was supposed to serve as a blanket, and then out of nowhere she just dies. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I must have not been paying attention when that happened.
oh my god, come on, Devin, get it together. No, it's fine. But yeah, I would definitely say with this movie, it was really very hard to not pay attention to what was happening, at least for me. I thought the pacing was very well thought out throughout the movie, and I really liked how at the end of the film how it actually showed how the virus spread because we still didn't really know where or who it came from, and then it shows like a bat eating something from a tree. I don't know exactly what it was, and then somehow the bat drops it, a pig eats it, a pig is foaming at the mouth, and then
And it was
that
all
pig is
all caused by the company that Gwyneth Paltrow worked for. So
yeah,
it was all full circle.
all full circle. Yeah, and the livestock of the pig, whatnot, and that I
The
mean,
bat
and that
pig
is
disease.
yeah, yeah. That's what they mentioned, but it was that's how these diseases start. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Well, was there anything else that really caught your eye, or any scenes that really caught your attention?
It kind of started to drag for me about halfway through because there's just
Mm.
like so many different characters and storylines to try to keep up with. It was kind of it's kind of like a Steven Soderbergh like special, but I kind of find it hard to keep up with.
Real okay, okay. Yeah, I didn't get that vibe from there was a time when I was watching it, I was wondering, okay, like I was following each trying to follow each storyline, trying to figure out, how much time I had left without, actually looking at the timer while I was watching it. And it ran this is about what, a 2 hour movie?
Hour
About
40.
hour 40. Well, it felt like 2 hour 46 is what it says, but yeah. It felt like a solid 2 hours. It might just be because I watched Spencer Confidential and then this back to back, which probably made it seem longer than what it really was. And we'll be getting into that review later on down the line, but yeah, I would have to agree on some parts. I felt like it drug on a little bit. There were some characters I cared more than others. Jude Law's character, like it was cool to see him, on screen early day Jude Law, but his character was kind of strange. I really liked Matt Damon's character the most. Lawrence Fishburne, he was pretty much playing the savior the entire time, trying to make sure everybody's safe. But then he kind
Was
of,
that his daughter or his wife? That
I
was
think that was his
confusing
wife.
because that looks like quite the age difference.
Yeah, well, how old was Lawrence Fishburne in this movie? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that was his wife. At first, I thought it was like a daughter. I'm like, well, no, maybe it's a friend. But he gave her a tip to leave Chicago because it was spreading there and to head down
And then
to Georgia.
the janitor just keeps popping up everywhere, just getting all this intel.
My God, he was insane. excuse me. But I would really have to say the star of the show for me was Jennifer Ely. She plays the nurse that injected herself with one of the vaccines and thus, creating a cure for the disease. I really liked her, her mini storyline between um her and her father. And she just like she ejects herself and then she just takes off the mask, goes to visit her father, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, I'm testing out this new vaccine." So it's like it's kind of a scary, predicament that she put herself in because it's a 50-50 chance. And it's like, hey, if this doesn't work, you're dead. Like
Yeah,
you're gone.
and someone's
But
got to
like,
do it.
yes, someone has to. And she had referenced there was I think it was I forgot what doctor it was. I think it was for polio or some other disease that was somewhat of an epidemic, or it was, I don't know, and it wasn't swine flu. I think it was polio, or it was the flu. I don't know. Um, I'm drawing a blank there, but she pretty much did the same thing that the doctor did. Well, the creator of that vaccine, he injected himself with it to see if it worked, and it did, and thus creating the vaccine for it. But well, any other positives or negatives you wanted to touch on, Devin? Or I don't know. I feel I feel like I'm rambling right now, but
Yeah, I don't know what else there's to add here. I just kind of want to mention that we should probably be taking coronavirus a little more seriously. I mean, it's definitely being taken seriously, but I still see people like going out to bars and restaurants and stuff, and it's just like, can't you just wait a couple weeks? Like if everyone's like kind of stayed at home and didn't go out and spread stuff, like we could really flatten out the curve and shorten the lifespan of the coronavirus.
yeah, well said there, man. I went out to a place of breakfast earlier today, and I've been trying to limit myself to hey, I need to go to the store. Like I don't mind going to the store, picking up supplies. Finally found some toilet paper. By the way, it was insane, man. Like literally, I'm not sure if I told you this, but I was at Costco early in the morning. I went to go grab some gas. Costco around here didn't open up till about maybe 9:30. So I sat in my car. I got there around 8:15. I kind of just listened, caught up on some podcasts that I've been meaning to catch up on. And I got out of my car around maybe 9 o'clock to stand in line because I saw the line was kind of getting a little bit longer. And I was like, okay, obviously everyone's here for toilet paper. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but it's just a little ridiculous.
I don't know
Um,
why that's the number one thing that comes to mind. Like, oh, I need this the most. Like, why?
Right. It's like not soap, not, allergy medicine, food, water, the main essentials. It's like, no, we need all the toilet paper that we can get. It's like, I'm sorry, but even if you run out of toilet paper, I'm sure if paper towels, napkins,
Got all those fast food napkins lying around.
exactly, especially if you're a college
Tissues.
student. It, yeah, tissues. Well, I actually bought tissues the other day, but luckily I actually snagged myself a 30 rack of TP there. But I mean, even if you're a college kid, and I used to do this all the time with my fraternity brothers, we used to steal so many napkins from Chipotle like all the time. And there was a time where we ran out of toilet paper, and I believe it was like maybe like a day and a half. um there was some reason why we weren't able to get more. I think everyone was busy at the time, but yeah, napkins, Chipotle.
Yeah. Not proud, but
Not
gotta
proud,
do it.
but it needed to be done. And we all took turn like buying toilet papers for the house. I forgot whose time it was, but there was one time I had to go, man. We had a Burger King right next door. I was like, I'm sick of using these napkins. I ran into that Burger King so fast and just handled my business. It was insane. But that's beside the point. I do agree with you though, Devin. People just need to practice basic hygiene. I know a lot of companies right now are, if you're able to work from home, go ahead and work from home. It is a bit of a pain because I've worked from home in the past. It's fun at sometimes, but half the time, I kind of just want to go into the office, do my thing, come home and relax. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't
I
really.
keep seeing like these videos of, like 50 to 100 people like all like packed into a bar, and it's just like, what are you trying to prove? You're just making it worse for everyone else.
I don't know. Maybe we can go ask the girl who licked the toilet seat for the
She's just trying to
coronavirus.
prove a lack of brain cells. That's what that is.
Americans. No, I'm kidding. But actually, I saw a video of a Costco in, I believe it was LA. And, they say to, like you said, avoid mass groups of people for now, try to keep social interaction, well, uh, in person social interaction at a distance. And then there's like all these people at Costco at once, and I'm like, you're running more of a risk of going to Costco or going to the gym, which really sucks because we both we both like going to the gym and whatnot, working out and trying to stay healthy, and the gym unfortunately right now is not the best place to be. But they actually shut down one of our YMCA's over here by me, and for now at least, I think they're doing a deep clean of the gym. I think they're going to try to open it up within the past next few weeks, but I don't know, man.
I,
I
I
guess
also don't know how the heck we're supposed to vote because Illinois and Ohio, I don't know about Tennessee, but the primary voting is supposed to be on Tuesday.
oh, that's right. Unless I mean, think there is a way to vote online. I thought there
I
always
hope
was.
so
Yeah,
because
because
going in with a big group of people, you're not supposed to do that.
yeah, I'm not all for that. And it really sucks, because we were supposed to review The Hunt, and then we were both looking forward to the A Quiet Place Part 2, and it was like Quiet Place Part 2 postponed. New Mutants again, not even again, New Mutants is postponed. And
It's cursed.
it wasn't even the studio's fault. They had a set date. It looks actually somewhat decent. And I was kind of excited to go see it. Postponed. Fast 9 got postponed to next April. Next April it got postponed
And it
till.
looks like the new consoles are going to be postponed
We're
probably
not
too.
talking about that. Nope, 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 Devin.
Too much
Devin.
sadness.
Devin. Listen to me. Listen. I agree with this all mainly started media wise when it came to big events with No Time to Die that got postponed to Thanksgiving. I felt like that was a little much, and I definitely feel like postponing Fast and Furious 9 to next April, basically a year from now, is a little ridiculous. It's either these companies know something that the general public doesn't know. And, with Disney, they've halted production on um, all of their movies or TV shows that they've been working on for Disney Plus. But a good thing I think, a good solid move on their part. They actually released Frozen 2 on Disney Plus 3 months earlier than originally planned, for kids staying home and people just kind of hey, let's try to get through this together. Here's something to, get you through the weekend. And the same thing, they released the Rise of Skywalker digital copy out a few weeks early as well. So I think that's I think it was really nice of them. I hear a lot of people have been saying, just put New Mutants on Disney Plus. And I was like, I mean, I agree, but at the same time, I mean, me and Devin are gamers, and we've sat through way longer postponing windows. So I mean, it's not that um big of a deal for us. I don't know. I mean, there might be some games I was waiting for longer than Devin has been, but there's been a few postponements here or there. But
I know Doom Eternal is coming to save us this Friday.
are you buying it?
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered.
Oh, you buying it through Steam,
Um,
or is it through the X? Or do you plan it through? Is
I
it
don't know.
on
I
Game
got it.
Pass?
I got it on Green Man Gaming. I don't know what.
Okay.
I'm
How,
guessing.
how 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 much was that, by the way?
I got it for like 45 or something.
Ooh, that's not bad. Actually, let's look that up. Doom Eternal. What's in standard
Gives
edition?
something to do during these trying times.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I am right now.
I'm surprised you haven't
It's
started the new Ori yet.
I know. Well, I haven't bought it yet, and I need to. It's like $30 right now, and I was like, okay, because when you texted me that the Rise of Skywalker was on digital, I was like, oh, don't tempt me. I wanted it so bad, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna wait for the physical release because I don't want to be super impatient. But yeah, it looks like on Green Man Gaming, it's like $60 as of right now, which is totally fine. Maybe GTA as something, but I don't know. But getting back to our original topic about Contagion, what would you give this out of 100? Your rating for this movie, Devin?
I'm thinking like a solid 77. Good
Solid 77.
alliteration there.
Okay, all right. Well, that's definitely better than the next movie we're gonna review. So,
Wow,
I
it looks like the governor of Ohio just like shut down bar and restaurant gathering.
did he really?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. It is serious, and I know I know with all the memes and everything that we make fun of, and have lighthearted jokes about to try to get us through. Sorry, sorry about that. My my headset popped out. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, oh wait, it can still hear me. But wow, that's crazy, man. So up in Ohio, is all the state of Ohio or just like certain parts?
I think it's all of Ohio.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm guessing
I
other
mean,
states might follow as well.
yeah, I don't know what Tennessee is gonna do. I think we have about 5 or 6 cases of them here. I think it's up to six since I got that email from YMCA. But it's crazy stuff. A lot of things are being postponed. I personally think that I don't know. We don't know when this is gonna blow over. When it comes to well, we talked about the consoles being possibly pushed back, even though we haven't really heard anything yet. But those don't come out till the holidays, so I mean, maybe. It's always a chance. I really hope it doesn't affect that. But if it does, it does. It's not that big of a deal. Obviously, everyone's health and well being is more important than you know games and movies and all this entertainment that we love to partake in throughout the year. But getting back to your scoring, so you said 77. I'm going to go with a solid 75. I really did like this movie. I just feel like for some reason I felt like it was too long because with these types of contagious viral movie virus like films, there's only so much you can tell before spreading it too thin. And I think between the main six characters that it was pretty much following, I thought they did a really good job. But there's other ones like Outbreak and 28 days later, there so on and so forth. Even honestly, I think the Rise of the Planet of the Apes trilogy does it the best. Because I'm not sure if you remember, but during the beginning of what is it? Rise is it Dawn of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes? I think it's then
Dawn.
Dawn, and then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is like a virus going around that's affecting humans, what have you. There's a lot of video games on it. Pretty much any insert post-apocalyptic zombie game here, it will have it, like The Last of Us, or I would imagine what's the other game that just came out for PlayStation a little bit ago? Days Gone, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I believe. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we wrap up here?
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. You heard it here
This
first.
movie definitely makes you want to.
Yeah, it really does. And there's a lot of there's I know there's a lot of things we didn't really get to cover with this movie, but it's just a general overall review of what we thought of it. And we thought it would be pretty, not only the fact that hey, this coronavirus is spreading. Let's do a movie about, Contagion. So it wasn't really our plan to do this because if it wasn't for the coronavirus, we will be doing the Hunt review right now. But we thought it would be a really good idea to kind of, get the word out, get our thoughts and feelings about the virus and what have you, and how much it's been affected, and to show how serious it can be, um, between, just practicing basic hygiene and just going throughout your normal day and just being careful and avoiding as much contact. We're not saying, lock yourself up in your room for 3, 4 weeks. It's important to, check up on friends, families, and loved ones. But I believe that pretty much does it here for this review of Contagion. As always, Devin, thank you for coming on. And, we do this every week. So I'm going to thank you every week until I don't know when. But again, everyone for out there listening, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Anchor, YouTube, Podbean, and Tuner. Please like and subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube, or leave us, please leave us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts. I really want to get a lot of some feedback between our podcasts and what we can do better, what I can do better to make it a better listening experience for all you lovely people out there. But I
And
guess
some
we'll.
streaming suggestions.
Wait, what did you say? Streaming
Yeah,
suggestions?
we need some streaming suggestions during this quarantine time.
Yeah, we really do.
Some porn stream.
Yeah, even if it's something we can, well, lights, camera, Barstool put out that put out that list, but I don't know how long that's, or how not relevant but new those movies are. But definitely check out our next review that we're going to be popping into here pretty soon. It's going to be Spencer Confidential. It's a new Mark Wahlberg movie. But I believe that does it for this review of Contagion, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
There we go.